think one thing that's been really helpful to me lately is the idea of less, you know, um, maybe not in the same way that like a monk would just like, eat. What do they eat? They only drink water and stuff, and not like that, but I guess in like a kind of Marie Kondo, does it spark joy kind of way. Um, this came about when I've been trying to. I had to back up some stuff because of something I was doing, and it made me think about all the sort of digital clutter that I've been accumulating. Pretty much since I've had my first Windows 7 PC back in the God, way back then. It was a long time ago. Technically, I used Windows XP before that, but I don't think we have anything from them. But yeah, everything's been kind of, well, for starters, it's definitely very disorganized. I've been trying to clean it up and stuff, but the biggest thing that stuck out to me was just the amount of it, the the like, well, like hundreds of gigabytes of like me just hitting the shadow play save the past like 1 minute button, and all the stupid files and like all like the 8 different versions of the same project, and like I've always been afraid to lose things, always been someone, I guess it has to do with my kind of early life experience, but it's not helpful to me in this day and age. I look at all the stuff that I have, and it's just at a certain point it's kind of disgusts you, like it does not spark joy, and so for the just to focus on the gameplay footage, for instance. I mean, it was all like 1080p 60, at like the highest bitrate preset that they had. I may have even gone a little higher, because like I don't want to lose any detail. It's like I want it to look nice, and it's the constant hitting of that button, because whenever anything mildly interesting happened, I'll be like, oh, I don't want to lose this. I don't want to lose this. I want to hit that button. And it just kept happening for years, until I have 500 gigabytes of footage that I cannot bring myself to either sort through or delete. And that's just like one thing on like one drive. I had this infestation has been spreading. It's spread over like multiple external drives, and it's just repeating the same mistakes over and over. But I think I'm on the track to be better about that now. Your Steam has recently rolled out this interesting new gameplay recording thing. It's very interesting and well thought out in terms of the user experience. The idea is you have this temporary rolling footage of like 2 hours. You can customize it, but like by default, it just keeps the past 2 hours of every game that you play. And once it's more than 2 hours, it just deletes the old stuff. It only keeps the past 2 hours. And on top of that, what they have is a very well thought out system for you to mark and or save and organize the bits that you genuinely do want to keep, more than just the temporary thing. So in the past, what I would end up doing is I would whenever something mildly interesting happened, I had to decide immediately whether to save it or if it was just no. And now it's this running 2 hours thing. I can complete the game session. Like what I do is whenever something interesting happens, I press like a marker key that like adds a little flag or whatever to that point in time, and then only after the game session is done, I go back and look at everything, look at the past 2 hours, and then I decide. And then I can decide what I want to keep and what I don't want to keep, and it's great because I can be in the moment rather than having to decide on the spot whether I want to clutter up my hard drive with this stuff. And it's very nice. So what I end up with is I actually have a lot less clips saved, but the ones that I do have are the ones that I care about, and it sparks joy, right? I hate using the word minimalism, but I guess that I guess that counts. And in addition to that, with the organization and stuff, I've been learning to sort of train myself to be okay with lower resolution and lower like bitrate recordings again. Cause like I when I was growing up, there's no like 4K like gaming content. There's no like gaming like it was just normal for things to be in standard definition and like blocky and stuff, and I was fine. I was happy. I grew up with totally legal games on a PlayStation 2, and like I never thought that was anything bad. And yeah, I've learned that I'm okay with 480p. I'm okay with 480p. Say it with me. I'm okay with 480p. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, at first I thought it was just the compression artifacts that bothered me. Like the little the video version of a JPEG artifact. So I would so I started by using a lower resolution, but I still kept the bitrate kind of high. And what I found was that you can at lower resolutions it takes a lot less bitrate to it takes a lot less space to have something that looks non-blotchy. I mean, it might be a little blurrier in points, but that's fine when you can actually see the blurriness instead of it being like I don't know. But then I realized, actually, I don't really mind as I started to upload stuff on YouTube at like lower resolutions and therefore lower bit rates on YouTube because of how it works there. I realized, what, I would go back to some of my old memories or like go to some other people's YouTube videos, and I just set the video quality to like the 480p, 360p, 240p, 144p, and like I kind of realized, if this was all I had of like these kinds of memories, I think I'd be okay, Like maybe the most important stuff I can save in like 480p, like medium, high, or whatever, but if it's enough to tell what's going on and enough to bring me back, I would rather save like the space on my hard drive. Also, I've been using AV1 encoding, so yeah. So yeah, I don't need 1080p 4K gaming footage. I don't need the 3 gajillion megapixel photos from my phone. I'm okay with low resolution photos, and it is so just euphoric. It's like when I see that my photographs on my phone are now, like, instead of being 1 megabyte to a megabyte, they're like 300 kilobytes. It's like orgasming, you know. It's just, I think about how much easier this is gonna be to sort through, and the main thing is to just take less of them. Let's be clear, and using a dedicated video photo device instead of a smartphone has helped with that, especially since, like, I don't know why we still have a 32 megabyte SD card. Like, I think that's what people were using in, like, the 90s, but we still have one around, and that's what I use with the video camera. And I think it's enough to store like 1 day of memories. I mean, even then, like, I still usually end up deleting some of them because it's like, yeah, like, I don't necessarily even need all that, and it kind of encourages me to delete stuff on the spot rather than like waiting until but the 2 terabyte drive fills up, and then now I gotta like go back and decide if like a month, like 6 months ago, this thing was like really that great. No, I decide on the night whether to delete that, delete like that alternate camera angle of the chicken that I had. And it's great. And to be clear, 32 megabytes was not what came with the camera back in the day. It would have been a 2 gigabyte card actually, but yeah, like and if I was going on a I don't know, like a holiday or something where I didn't have something to every day transfer the stuff into, I would probably want a bigger card. But yeah, for what I've got going on right now, I think this is the way forward. And I mean, even my even my offline music library, it's starting to get more minimal, more curated. I mean, yeah, I know that if I really want to listen to something, we've got like the whole internet of stuff. There's the Spotify family plan that mom put us on, which I mean, great value for money. I wouldn't, but I mean, if I wasn't, if I lost access to that family plan, I don't know. I don't think I would resubscribe again at a normal price, because I mean, I have all like the internet at my fingertips. There's streaming is like one of the worst ways to financially support artists, actually. I wonder if you knew that. So yeah, I don't feel like, oh, if I then I'll never be able, if I delete this file on my computer, I'll never be able to listen to it again. I mean, unless it's something very personal or very specific, that's probably not gonna be the case. Like for most of the music I listen to, it's okay to, I know I'll be able to find it again. Maybe not immediately, but yeah, and my current digital music collection, it's no longer like this hoard of like every MP3 I've ever come across, every like music file I've ever like locked eyes with on the street. It's like, everything is like, everything I really want it to be there. That's why it's there, It's not just like a close your eyes and like whatever thing. It means more than just being able to listen to it. And I think that's great. I've run out of things to talk about.